Hello my dear friends, I'm happy to welcome you in my new author's tutorial on such a beaded brooch creation. As you can see, these brooches look completely different, in different color solutions, despite the fact that they are totally identical. This brooch looks incredibly beautiful. Unfortunately, the camera can't show the shine I can see in reality. Here you can see the front and the back sides of these brooches. So I invite you to observe the material for this tutorial and to the tutorial itself. The first thing we need is Rivoli. In my case, it's Rivoli 14 mm size. I'll show you its details, and in case you'd like to buy the same one, you'll do it easily. The next materials are round beads of light blue color. Here are the details. These are artificial Swarovski pearl beads, size 3 mm. We'll need to use them in the amount of 14. The next type of beads are round beads, size 5 mm. These are also artificial Swarovski pearl beads. We'll also need to use round beads, size 4 mm. And these are also artificial Swarovski pearl beads. Then we'll need super duo beads in amount of 42 beads. We'll also need delica seed beads of light blue color, in amount of 2 grams only. Unfortunately, I've lost the details of these beads, but I'm sure you'll easily find them. The next type of beads we need are Japanese Toho beads, size 15, in amount of 2 grams as well. These are galvanized beads with a steady cavity. I recommend you these beads as they are really good. We'll also use such clasps. These are 3 cm clasps for brooches. We'll also need a leather detail for the back side, as well as a piece of felt and cardboard. And you'll see such a result at the end. So let's get down to the tutorial itself. To start with, we need to take a Rivoli size 14 mm. Here you can see its details. So if you like the one I use, you can buy the same. It's the Rivoli of a very good quality, produced by Swarovski. I like it a lot, and in my works I use it very often. I really like such spotted stones, and they really look nice and unusual. After we have chosen the Rivoli, we take the first set of beads. So we need to pick up 14 pairs as follows: 1 bead of size 15 and 1 super duo bead. And altogether you need to make 14 pairs like this. After that, move all these beads closer to the beginning of the thread and pass the needle through all the beads towards the top in order to get the loop in the result. Now we've got the loop. Pull the thread and make 3 or 4 knots. This piece of the thread will later hide inside the beads and will not be visible. And we go on. So now you can see the thread. It comes out of this super duo. And you need to pass the needle through the top hole of a super duo, like this. After this, pick up 1 super duo and pass through the next super duo, the top hole of it. Pull the thread, and again 1 super duo and through the next one. So such a step you get. Continue the same way up to the end of the row, and after this we go on together. So we've reached to the end of the row. For the last time, pick up one super duo and pass the needle through these two super duo beads. So the top hole of the first super duo at the beginning and the down hole of the next one. And let's have a look. So it looks like a snowflake, and we go on. Pick up one bead size 3 millimeters. But before we do it, we need to return. Return back through the top hole of a super duo, like this. And now you need to pick up one round bead size 3 millimeters and pass the needle through the top hole of the next super duo. Again, pick up 3 millimeter round bead and pass the needle through the next top hole of a super duo. And again, round bead. Repeat the same operation. Continue the same way up to the end of the row, and then we go on together. So we've reached to the end of the row. For the last time, pick up one round bead, size 3 millimeters, and pass the needle through this top hole of the next super duo, and also through the round bead, size 3 millimeters. Pull the thread, and now pass the needle through the top hole of the next super duo. Pull the thread well. Now pass the needle through the down hole of a super duo and the next super duo. Pull the thread. Now pull the thread really well. And we're going to make the place for the rivelet, so-called setting. If we put the rivelet like this, it will look incomplete. So we have to go on. Pick up two delica beads, size 11, one bead size 15, and two delicas. Such a set of beads. And now skip this bead, the super duo, and you need to pass the needle, skipping one bead and passing the needle through this hole of a super duo. Now I'm going to show it to you here. So we've passed the needle, skipping one bead. And again, two delicas, one 15 size bead, and two delicas. Again, skip the next bead, the super duo, and pass the needle through the next one. Pull the thread. And we've got such a detail. We're going to make the same steps up to the end. So we've reached to the end of the row. For the last time, picked up two delicas, one 15 size bead, two delicas, and pass the needle through the top hole of a super duo at the beginning of the row, this way, then through two delicas and one bead size 15. Pull the thread, and we've got such a detail as a result. So now we can insert our rivelet inside the setting, and you see that the size is fitting. Now pick up three delicas and pass through the next middle silver bead. And again three delicas. Pass the needle through the next middle silver bead. Out of 5. Continue the same way up to the end of the row. And then we go on together. So we've reached to the end of the row. For the last time, pick up 3 delicas, pass the needle through the first silver bead, 3 delicas and the next silver bead. Pull the thread. And now you can see that the satin is ready. And the stone gets its place. That's how it looks from both sides. Now pass the needle through these 2 delicas, then through the super duo, this one, the down hole of it. So I will turn it and show it to you. Here you can see this super duo. Then through the next super duo and pull the thread. And now pass through this hole of a super duo, also through the round bead 3 millimeters, and such a result we've got. And we go on. Pick up 1 delica, 1 15 size bead, 1 delica, and pass the needle through the next round bead 3 millimeters. And again pick up delica, 15 size bead, delica, and pass the needle through the next round bead. Continue the same way up to the end of the row. And then we go on together. So we've reached to the end of the row. For the last time picked up our beads, delica, 15 size bead, delica, and pass the needle through the round bead, then through the next delica and the next bead, 15 size. Pull the thread, and the detail looks like this right now. From both sides you can see it. Now pick up 1 round bead size 5 millimeters and pass through the next 15 size bead. Pull the thread and again pick up 5 millimeters bead and through the next 15 size bead. Continue the same way up to the end of the row, and then we go on together. So we've reached to the end of the row. For the last time pick up 1 round bead size 5 millimeters and pass through this first bead size 15 and the next 5 millimeters bead. Then pick up 1 super duo bead and pass through the next round bead size 5 millimeters. Again 1 super duo and through the next round bead. Again super duo bead and through the next round bead. Continue the same way up to the end of the row, and then we go on together. So we've reached to the end of the row. For the last time pick up super duo bead and pass the needle through the round bead 5 millimeters and the next super duo bead. Then you need to return through the top hole of the same super duo. Pull the thread and now pick up delica, round bead size 4 millimeters and delica. Pass the needle through the top hole of the next super duo and again delica, 4 millimeter bead, delica, and pass through the next super duo. Continue the same way up to the end of the row. So we reached to the end of the row. For the last time pick up delica, round bead, delica, and pass the needle through this super duo, then through this delica, the round bead, delica, and the top hole of the next super duo. Pull the thread, pick up 2 delicas, 1 15 size bead and 2 delicas. Pass the needle through this super duo from the back side of the brush. Pull the thread, and our beads get this position, pay attention. And again 2 delicas, 15 size bead, 2 delicas, and pass through the top hole of the next super duo. Pull the thread. Continue the same way up to the end of the row, and then we go on together. So we've reached to the end of the row. For the last time, pick up 2 delicas, 1 bead 15 size, 2 delicas, and pass the needle through this super duo at the beginning of the row. And it's not so easy to complete. And here you can see how it looks from both sides. That's the front side. And now the thread comes out of this bead. You need to pass the needle through the other hole of the same super duo. Then pass through the 5 mm bead, and now pick up 1 delica and pass through the next 5 mm round bead. Here is not easy, especially to make it, to show it to the camera. Here you can see it. And the delica gets between the round beads. Again pick up delica and pass through the next round bead, 5 mm. And pull the thread. Continue the same way up to the end of the row. So we've reached to the end of the row. For the last time, pick up 1 delica and pass the needle through the round bead. I'm going to hide my thread and we go on. So the thread comes out of the down hole of this super duo. Then pick up 3 15 size beads and pass the needle through the top hole of the next super duo. Like this. Now again pick up 3 beads size 15 and pass through the down hole of the next super duo. Again 3 15 size beads and pass through the top hole of the next super duo. Continue the same way up to the end of the row, interchanging the direction of our beads. And then we go on together. So we've reached to the end of the row. For the last time, pick up 3 beads, size 15, and pass the needle through this down hole of the super duo at the beginning of the row. Pull the thread. And we've got such a result at the end. And now we are going to make the down side of it. And the thread has to go out of this bead. I'm not going to show it to the camera. I'm sure you will make it yourself. It's quite difficult to show to the camera, that's why I believe that for you it's not going to be a big problem to complete. And we will then go on with the next part of this brush. So before we move to our final stage of the tutorial that is working over the back side of the brush, we need to make such a detail. I cut a circle of cardboard and suede. Made the holes for the clasp. After that, I joined the suede to the cardboard with the help of the glue, and the diameter of these parts is 3 millimeters. Then I made a circle of 2 millimeters out of felt and joined it to the other detail. Don't forget to let it dry. And now insert the back side detail into the brush and we go on. Now we need to move this thread out of this silver bead, and now pick up 4 delicate beads, 1 15 size bead and 4 delicates. Pass the needle through this silver bead. Pull the thread and then return back through these 2 delicates. Then pick up 2 delicates, 1 silver bead and 4 delicates. Such a set we need to have, and we will have it until the end. Pass the needle through the next silver bead, pull the thread and return through the 2 delicates. And then you can move the clasp like I'm doing it. Pick up 2 delicates, 1 silver bead and 4 delicates. And you can open the clasp and pass the needle through this silver bead. And check that the loop gets inside the clasp. Now return through 2 delicates You can close the clasp now at this stage. And we go on. Round the circle until the end of the row. And then we go on together. So we've reached to the end of the row. For the last time, pick up like this. 2 delicates, silver bead, 2 delicates, and pass the needle through these 2 delicates. Then, through the silver bead, pull the thread and return through these delicates, 2 more delicates, and the central silver bead. Pull the thread. Then pick up 2 delicates and pass the needle through this silver bead. And again 2 delicates. And again pass the needle through the middle bead, it's silver bead. Continue the same way up to the end of the row. And then we'll hide this thread and our tutorial is over. So we've reached to the end of the row. For the last time, pass the needle through the first bead at the beginning of the row and 2 next beads after it. Pull the thread and the brooch is ready. That's the back side and that's the front side of our brooch. And I'm really pleased with how it looks. And here you can see the brooches as a result of this tutorial. I really hope you are pleased with the result you've got. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, join our social networks. You'll find the links under this video. Share your results with me in our networks. And don't forget that there are a lot of other tutorials of brooches and you'll find them on my website. See you in the next tutorials.